Good Tuesday morning. We are staying on top of breaking news. We are following a train derailment out of Trenton, Kentucky. We're going to take a look at some pictures. These are from WEKT radio. In them, you can see this train derailment. Again, this is between Pembroke and Trenton, Kentucky. You can see this is again in that area where this train derailed. Right now, we know about 12 to 14 rail cars were derailed this morning between, again, like I just mentioned, Pembroke and Trenton, Kentucky. We know one of these cars is on fire right now at this moment, and it's sending up a plume of smoke. We know that that car contains molten sulfur. Now, all of this information, it's according to Ash Groves with Toddy County Emergency Management. And Groves said there is a shelter-in-place order for all Trenton residents right now that live within a half-mile radius of this derailment. And they're also asking you, if you live within a half-mile of this derailment, to turn off your HVAC systems. Right now, no injuries are being reported, but crews are currently on the scene working to get this situation under control. Toddy County Emergency Management, they told us that they will send out a press release a little later this afternoon, but for now, this is what we know. Again, 12 to 14 cars derailed in Kentucky. It happened between Pembroke and Trenton, Kentucky. Now, if you're just now joining us, I mentioned a little earlier that the Toddy County Emergency Management told us that one of these cars contains molten sulfur. So we took a look. What is molten sulfur? What does that cause? So we have that pulled up right here. This is a look at cameochemicals.noaa.gov, and it breaks down what is that chemical. So here you can see the health impacts that it can have on a person. You can see that right there. I'm moving my cursor. It can cause residual injury and things like that. As far as flammability, it can be preheated before ignition can occur. Instability, you can see right here. It's normally stable even under fire conditions. However, if you continue reading, I'm going to try to blow this up so you can follow along with me, but it gives a general description of what molten sulfur is. And here you can see it's described as a pale yellow crystalline solid with a faint odor of rotten eggs. They also say a fire and explosion risk above 450 degrees Fahrenheit. It can be transported as a yellow to red liquid and handled at elevated temperature to prevent solidification, and all of the technical details for this molten sulfur. But they do say, if you continue to read, they say do not attempt to remove sulfur impregnated clothing because of the danger of tearing your flesh if a burn has occurred. They say maybe irritation to the skin, eyes, and mucous membranes as well. So certainly something you don't want to take lightly. Now, if you're just now joining us and a bit confused at what you're looking at, molten sulfur is what was in one of these rail cars that was derailed between Pembroke and Trenton, Kentucky. Again, I want to mention these pictures are from WEKT radio, and you can see just some of these images of how these cars were derailed in this area. Again, we know 12 to 14 cars were involved in this. But I think the biggest thing right now is they're asking people who live within a half-mile radius of this to turn off your HVAC systems. And, you know, it's really cold out there this morning, but they are asking you to do that and be safe so you don't have any impacts from this train derailment. So again, we are expecting a press release from Toddy County Emergency Management a little later this afternoon. So we will continue to follow this story and tell you what we learn as they are investigating. Luckily, right now at this hour, no injuries have been reported from this. So that's good news. Hopefully that stays the same way. And we know right now as well, crews are on the scene working on this too. But again, we of course are going to continue to follow this story. We have two crews headed to the scene right now, so they will be bringing us more about this train derailment as the morning and afternoon goes on. So make sure you stick with